I want to talk through a little bit around how you use the zero trust philosophy when you're building out an application in the cloud. Now, this could be any cloud platform, from your Google through your Azure through to AWS. I'm just personally more familiar with AWS, so excuse me for picking on the AWS logo set to explain this a little bit. So, as you can see in this particular architecture, traditional three-stage or three-zone approach, user coming in through the front-end web application firewall into the web tier as a public subnet, and then from there through more load balancing to a private subnet for the application tier, and then from there out to a database backend, in this particular case shown as Aurora and Amazon S3 and Glacier for long-term retention. So a couple of the items that we look at in here in terms of zero trust. The first is really segmentation for blast wall radius. And you can see that through the three zones, with public subnetting being applied at the public and the private level, and then security groups applied to resources, and security groups act as a dynamic firewall, because in these situations you don't have a static IP address to use. So that security group then ensures that only the applicable web tier servers can get to the applicable application tier servers. Next, I want to call out authentication. So it's on the diagram here that we've got mutual TLS running through every single communication, and that is calling out to Amazon services called Certificate Manager to ensure that everything is authenticated. Likewise, we show Cognito at the front end to ensure that all users are authenticated. And then throughout this architecture, we're using AWS's identity and access management to control roles and accesses of resources. And then from a detection perspective, you'll see on the right-hand side, we're using Amazon CloudWatch for log monitoring and GuardDuty for threat intelligence. That brings together all of those 7 tenants from NIST in a particular application deployment.